10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, how's it going?
Hey, what's
Welcome.
going on?
Yeah, week
How's
one
it
in
going,
in the
guys?
books. A bunch of craziness that took place
Oh
this
yeah.
week. Absolutely insane week. Um, Let me just double check that everyone can hear everything. Okay, awesome. Okay, so um, our first topic, we're gonna talk about winners and losers for this week. It's been a crazy week, so there's some weird winners, there's some weird losers. I'm gonna kick it off. So my winners for the week are the Packers. I thought Jordan Love, he played great. Let me just pull up some stats here. So 245 yards, uh, 15 completions on 27 attempts, which isn't like a great completion percentage. It's 55% completion percentage. But he still put up 245 yards, and his QB rating was 123.2, which was a lot better than Aaron Rodgers. so
Well, yeah,
yeah, and I thought Aaron Jones, he played awesome game. I mean, he destroyed my hopes of winning the $5 weekly this week. Had he not played so good, there were some people that had drafted him in the DraftKings $5 weekly that uh, they ended up winning because they had him on their team. I think he put up 27 fantasy points this week, which is awesome for a running back. I don't think anyone expected that, but Green Bay Packers are my winners because I think that pretty much everyone thought that they were going to lose to the Bears, and they didn't. They actually
yeah.
kicked ass. Um,
It's
so
just, I think a lot of people weren't sure what to expect, really, with Green Bay.
I don't think that they were. I don't think that people were necessarily like. But okay, so I would agree with you to some extent there, just because like Jordan Love, he's kind of like unproven talent. But at the same
Right.
time, I don't think I think the majority of people had the Bears winning that game. Like,
I
Oh,
didn't.
absolutely, yeah.
yeah,
I didn't. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, myself included, I'm expecting Justin Fields to go out there and just play his ass off. Like,
For sure.
all these people I expected to play, like DJ Moore, I'm thinking this dude's gonna have over 1,000, 1,300, 1,400 yard season at minimum. I don't think he really put up any yardage. It
Yeah.
was just kind of like a all in all letdown on the Bears end. But
Well,
yeah,
that's
I mean,
Bears
Right.
fashion, isn't it? I mean,
what'd you say?
I said it. That's Bears fashion.
Yeah,
True.
yeah. I mean, just completely like huge letdown. Um, I think a lot of I saw a bunch of memes and stuff where people are basically like saying, "Oh, we're just the Bears again. This is
Mhm.
this is this is par for the course. Like,
Yeah.
we're always we're the Bears now. We're always going to be the Bears. Just
The
total
Bears.
total disappointment."
Okay.
And then so those are my winners for the week, the Packers. Um, the losers for the week are my Kansas City Chiefs. That game was absolutely horrendous to watch. The entire planet was watching that game. I think there was like 28 million viewers, which was like 6 or 7 million more viewers than the first game of last season. So just a huge audience watching this game, and no one could catch anything. It wasn't for a lack of trying. So like there's some silver linings. So the silver linings for me in the game. So obviously, our receiving core was straight hot garbage.
Hmm.
Um, just absolutely atrocious. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna pull up some of the stats here. So, um, for the receiving core, uh, so these are their wide receivers. Valdez Scantling, 2 targets, 2 receptions. He's the only one that did what he was supposed to do for 48 yards. So he averaged 24 yards a reception. he actually was, but he's the veteran in the wide receiver core there right now. Then you've got Watson. He was targeted 4 times, caught 2, dropped the other 2 for 45 yards. So still good on the 2 that he did actually catch. Rashee Rice, 5 targets, 3 receptions for 29 yards. So that's good considering that dude's a rookie. And 1 TD. Then Justin Ross, 1 target, 1 reception for 6 yards, nothing. Richie James, 2 targets, 1 reception for 6 yards, nothing. Kadarius Toney, absolutely atrocious, straight hot garbage. Andy Reid's taking all the blame for it, but at the same time, he's gone out and done some pressers basically saying like, this was my fault. He wasn't ready. Like he hasn't, and to be fair, he didn't play at all in the preseason, and he didn't do any practices either. So I mean, he is gonna be a little rusty, but at the same time, this dude's getting paid millions of dollars a year. I don't know what his rookie contract looks like right now, but I guarantee he's making $1 million plus. And the dude can't catch a damn wide open ball with no one even around him. So 5 targets, 1 reception for 1 yard.
Yeah, fucking hard.
The worst statistically, the worst performance from a wide receiver since 2018. So it's been 5 years since a wide receiver had a worse performance than him in this game.
Yeah, that's rough.
Just hot garbage. Then Sky Moore, who's supposed to be the new wide receiver 1, hits his second year. What the hell happened? 3 targets, 0 receptions. He absolutely. Well, I started this idiot in one of my leagues, and he didn't do anything. But anyway, so the receiving core completely hot garbage. Silver linings for me was Patrick Mahomes actually did play good, despite his receivers sucking and not being able to catch a cold. He had a pass. He passed for over 200 yards, 226 yards with 2 TDs, completion percentage of 53.9%. But how much of that was not his fault? Because his idiot receivers couldn't catch anything, and he had a QBR of 70. That's he had his worst performance of his career. It's his first week 1 loss in his career. He typically has a QBR in his week 1 performance of over 130, and his average was 35 points a game for his week 1 performance. So he completely way undershot that, and it's all because of Kadarius Toney. But anyway,
there we go.
So silver linings is Patrick Mahomes still good, and the defense. The defense actually held up really well considering the Lions. They were a top 4 scoring team last season, and they were able to hold them without Chris Jones to 21 points. That was super impressive.
And you called that too. You knew by the end of the week he was going to have a contract, and Monday morning he had a 1-year extension.
Yeah, they just announced that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. It's 1 year. I think that what was it? It was 24 million, I think, or something like that, and it's a chance.
It was I
think it's 19 million 1 year though, but with incentives to get past over 25 and get rid of all the fines that he's accumulated, which at this point he's accumulated, I think, almost $2 or $3 million in fines. So, that's a huge deal to get rid of all those fines.
Right.
So, it's a 1-year thing, and at the end of the year they can franchise him, and I think the cost to franchise him is something like $32 million. But at the same time, let's say they go back to the Super Bowl and they win, they repeat, you can bet your bottom dollar they're gonna franchise him for 1 more year, or they're gonna actually get the damn deal done and pay the fucking dude.
Right.
Okay, so who wants to go next? Do you want to go?
I'll
Joel?
go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go. So my winner for the week, it's got to be Miami. I was personally quite nervous with Tua, especially with his string of injuries. Man, the dude just can't seem to stay healthy. He can't take a hit. But holy crap, did he show off? I mean, 466 total yards, 3 touchdowns, absolute unit, put up crazy points. And then if you started Tyreek, you definitely got a lot more points. I think it was at 45 points is I think what he averaged in the leagues we were talking about earlier. I mean, the dude had 215 yards with 2 touchdowns. Now, silver lining with that, I think, is they have a chance to go far in the season, and I think they have a good shot at playoffs if he can stay healthy. If Tua can stay healthy and he can not take hits, so if the offensive line can protect him and he doesn't take any hits and doesn't do anything stupid, I really think that they can go far. I really do believe that they can go far.
100%. I mean, if Tua can stay healthy, Jesus Christ. Just that, I think we talked about this previously. They've got one of the best receiving cores, arguably, if not the best, one of the most talented receiving cores in the league. As far as individual players go, I mean, Waddle is incredible. You've got 2 players that are so dynamic. You've got Waddle, who's fast as hell, tall, and then you've got Tyreek Hill, shorter, fast as hell. And they both have incredible hands. They're both super athletic, and you have to imagine being a defense having to scheme for that shit. You've got 2 people that arguably need to be double teamed. At all times. So that puts you in a situation where you're either having to partially play zone on one and man on man on one and then double teaming and then trying to zone with man on one. So it's like it's just a nightmare for defenses. I think, like you were saying, as long as Tua can stay healthy, just disgusting.
For sure. Yeah. Moving over though to my loser. Loser for the week is Buffalo, man. It was a nervous game, I think, going into New York, especially because with the whole Rodgers thing, right? They got a lot of great players. They got a few new coaches, right? Like, Rodgers kind of built that offense around him, right? What he wanted. And first drive gets hurt, right? Achilles is gone. Okay, that stinks, right? So now he's like, okay, got the backup in. Allen had it it was in his hand. But the fact that he throws 3 interceptions, I mean, that's crazy. However, hold on. Sorry, I got some girls yelling here. What's crazy about that, though, is, and I don't know, I'm not calling it a silver lining, but I just want to see your all's opinion on it, right? So he threw 3 interceptions. All 3 interceptions were caught by Jordan Whitehead, who just happens to be number 3, right? Who was the replacement for Damar Hamlin, who is number 3. I don't know about you, but it's a little sketchy for me. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know if you could have written it up any differently in a storybook. But,
I saw a funny meme that said that to dedicate the game to Damar Hamlin, that he decided to throw 3 interceptions to honor him.
And I will say, so watching that game, I was rooting for the Jets off the bat. I feel like the Jets are due, right? They're due to have a good season, and I was really rooting for them. So watching them get the dub, especially the way they got it in overtime, what an amazing run. The running backs were just absolutely on fire. What a great game to watch. And obviously, being a Chiefs fan, it's always good to see Buffalo lose. But like I said, so those are my winners and losers for the week.
Yeah, I like those.
Awesome. You want to go next, Cody?
Yeah. I'm going to start out with my loser of the week. It's an easy pick on them thing, but the Giants, I mean, how many points did they score? I can't even remember. They got Zeke, 40 points got scored on them. They look like a little peewee team compared to the Giants defense. Really.
It was bad. It really was.
I love to have some sympathy for them and everything. But coming off the year that they had last season, I thought they were going to do a lot better.
Yeah.
It's week 1. A lot of people's going to have some miscues and things like that. But losing 40-0, looking like a peewee team out there, not even looking like a professional team on offense. Their O-line just couldn't hold on for anything.
How sad is it they're paying Daniel Jones after a 15 touchdown season? He had 15 touchdowns last season. they decided instead of let's wait one more, let's have one more year, see what he can produce this season. They actually get a contract done, a 4-year contract, $160 million, $40 million a year. They're paying that fucking guy who literally couldn't do anything. Like, unbelievable.
He's their guy.
But how shitty? I mean, Jesus.
They need to give some money to the O-line.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man.
I mean, just imagine being a Giants fan, and like, no offense to Daniel Jones or anything, but at the same time, it's just like he couldn't do anything. He couldn't move.
Yeah. He was running like a scared child.
It was sad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, going on top of that, Daniel had no choice. He had no time, in the pocket to throw it. I mean, they're on his butt, as soon as
what was I seeing? I saw something like throughout the game, like he was averaging like 1.3 seconds from snap to being hit by one of the Cowboys.
The pressure was just
under 2 seconds.
Insane.
Like he literally no time.
He didn't have time to react, but at the same time, it's just still shitty though. You'd think that, I feel like even though offensive line was straight hot garbage, the fact that they couldn't like figure out some way to make some plays. I mean, Saquon Barkley couldn't do shit either. I mean,
but who else did the Giants have on their team?
They don't have it. It's the Saquon Barkley show. And
that's it.
And that new tight end Waller. I mean, that's his only receiver too. He doesn't even have any receivers. He's got fucking a tight end. He's got Waller. I mean, that's it.
That's it.
Which is and speaking of that, Waller is who they picked with the I think that 4th round pick they got for Kadarius Toney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so
just to finish that off, my loser of the week, again, the Giants. But with them, I really want to see how Dallas's defense really stays on going through the season. Is it their D is just that amazing? Because if it really is, then they're bars above every other defense just about, it's like they're in a whole different league the way they just played against the Giants. So we'll see if it's really the Giants just couldn't get anything done. The O-line was horrible, or this D is just something that's going to win them a championship,
I honestly,
I'm excited to see that.
It pains me to say this, but watching that game and seeing just how look at Roberts just like getting hard over there.
Yeah. I'm not a Dallas fan.
Hold it in, buddy. Hold it in.
I know. I get it. It's week one. The Cowboys had a big ass game. I'm not going to fall into the bullshit trap that the Cowboys do.
You know what though? But you don't have to fall into a trap though, right? I mean, putting up 35 points is crazy.
The eye test.
I love every second of it. Even especially because it's the Giants. I hate the Giants. Giants and the Eagles. And the Broncos. Can't stand the Broncos. But
Eagle, fly.
Yeah, but just
no, I love it. I loved every second of it.
Yeah, just watching that Cowboys defense, they've got so many just incredible all-pro talent defensive players. Just it's scary as hell to be on the other side of that. I mean, you don't have anyone to throw it to because you've got some of the best defensive linemen running at your ass constantly. I mean, it's scary. And watching it, I was literally sitting there thinking, I'm like, this is like this could like actually be their year. I don't like the Cowboys, so actually sitting there like, oh man, I'm sitting there thinking like, I don't want these guys to play the Chiefs in the championship.
You want to make a prediction right now, Dylan? I mean, is that what you want to do?
I definitely see them potentially winning the league. That
I'm not gonna say it.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it, but at the same time, like, damn, that defense, like Cody was saying, if they can keep up that type of performance on a weekly basis, like, disgusting.
Dude, they're gonna be unstoppable for sure. And if Dak can stay healthy, sorry, Rob.
Yeah.
That's my biggest concern is anybody on that offense. If we lose one piece out of that offense, I think it's just a snowball effect where we once again another disappointing season.
I will say though, it is good to see that Dak was able to bounce back from the injury last year, and without having Elliott as a running back, I mean they still put up 40 points. So that's impressive in its own.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, you don't need one player. I think honestly, I think Ezekiel was more of a nuisance and a negative kind of energy and vibe to the team than he was as an asset. And I mean, I'm glad that
there's certain players that you just know as soon as they sign that extension, they get that big contract. You just know all they're going to be is a problem.
Yeah, and, no, I agree.
You know, to me, Zeke was one of those players. Like,
yeah. So
same thing with Josh Allen and Stephen Diggs. Like, last night, I think two of those interceptions, the two big balls in the end zone. I think both of those were forced to Stephen Diggs because they just about
Hey Rob,
whatever,
you're Mikey.
Whatever their problems were in the off season, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So Cody, did you say who your winner was?
No, not yet.
Okay, who's your winner?
So I'm going to sound a bit biased on this because I am a Saints fan. I'm going to go with the Saints this week.
Jesus Christ. How
yeah, they're at home.
They beat Las Vegas. They beat Las Vegas. Didn't they? Who'd they play? Didn't they play Las Vegas?
No, or I wouldn't be saying that's the winner.
Who the hell? Oh, it was the Titans. Yeah.
The tough Titans, dude.
Yeah,
they're nitty gritty, bro.
Yeah.
They hammer it down your throat, you know. And they stayed on top of it. You know, they played really good defense. You know, with getting the 2 interceptions, possibly 3 on here. Yeah, 3 interceptions on them. Mm-hmm. Derek Carr, you know, after losing Drew Brees, losing Sean Payton, you know, going through all this QB scramble, who's going to be the next quarterback, you know, we get Derek Carr coming off his troubling issues and with the Raiders coming in, just wanting to really make a big difference. And he really did his first week. You know, he looked really good, threw over 300 yards, you know. What was he, like 23 and 33 for throwing? Man, just played a good game, held the team on his back. You know, coming in as Derek Carr first year, you know, I was impressed by that. You know, and getting that win.
300 plus yards.
Yeah, exactly.
300 plus yards and a touchdown. So.
Yeah. And also on top of all that, you know, we don't have Kamara in right now. He's out for another 2 games. You know, our rushing yards weren't very high, but I mean, we got it done, you know, against the tough Tennessee Titans team.
My whole thing with that game, I don't know why the hell I thought they played Las Vegas. But my whole thing with, because I actually watched that game.
You went to Derek Carr. You were thinking Derek Carr.
Okay, so my whole thing though, Derek Carr, he played. I will agree, he did play good, but at the same time, they couldn't do shit in the red zone. One TD, and you put up 300 yards. That is,
it was a slow game.
Fair.
So that to me, it's like, it's kind of the same type of shit we saw in Las Vegas where they struggled in the red zone. I don't think he plays well in the red zone. And you put up 300 yards and you have a 16-point game. What the fuck? Like, I mean, seriously. And so that's my whole thing with the Saints. I do think they look good. I think they've got some, they've got some, obviously like some pretty great talent in their receiving core. But at the same time, you've got Derek Carr who doesn't know how to finish out a drive. And that's my whole thing is he looked good, but once he gets into the red zone, it's just like it's like it just falls apart. I don't understand it.
Yeah, you could definitely argue the other side is because what team would lose to someone who threw 3 interceptions? You know, that'd be pretty sad anyways. But just the fact, you know, coming off against a nitty-gritty team like Tennessee Titans, getting that first win in the Superdome, I think it's just going to be huge to, you know, progressing in the regular season for him.
Yeah. And
right, so you're a Saints fan?
I am.
Okay, how long do you give Michael Thomas before he's hurt?
Dude, I wouldn't say anything about Dak or anybody. Why you got to say that? No, I don't really care if he's hurt or not, because he hasn't been with us for how long now? Like, I'm kind of over Michael Thomas and all of his, reputation and like that.
I mean, but at the same time, I think the last, he's put up some numbers in past seasons, and having him with Chris Olave. So the thing is Olave is one of those receivers that he's balls to the wall. He's running for the end zone every play, and it gives the Saints a more dynamic receiving core because they can scheme for Mike Thomas, who he's not balls to the wall. I mean, he can be, but at the same time, he's a lot more dynamic in route running, I think. So that makes their offense a little more dynamic and scary, and I think that it's harder to scheme for, obviously, with defenses. So I think that we actually saw a lot of that. That's how he was able to put up so many yards. Like Mike Thomas, I think that dude is like, if you can get like, I actually picked him in every single one of my DraftKings weeklies that I did, and I mean he's good.
Wow. Yeah, no, he's definitely good. But like Rod said, he got to stay healthy, But I'm talking about like whenever he was good, he put the cell phone behind the post, and then picked it up and did his little things, his little shenanigans. If he can kind of hold that and stay healthy, dude, they're going to be amazing. It's going to be harder to defend Michael Thomas
Absolutely.
and all that, So
I agree with that.
Okay, and last but not least, Robert, winners and losers.
Okay. My winner this week is obviously my Dallas defense. Spectacular. I don't know. Can't say much more than that. Just flawless. No, they limited the Giants to 170, 180 total yards of offense. Obviously, it was 40-0. We had 2, you call it defensive special teams touchdowns. We had 2 solid from start to finish. 2 interceptions, 7 sacks, and again, we completely shut the Giants out, 40-0. Not to mention that was also with Dak Prescott only throwing for 143 yards. He had a mediocre day. Not much, that win was completely on the Dallas defense. And I welcome the shots about Dak, Cody. Bring it.
I know.
Because I have the same questions about him as you do.
I don't like
same questions with Michael Thomas. Can you stay healthy, and can you, are you going to be able to change the turnover problems and become an offense that is capable of standing with this defense? I don't know. Second to none.
No, they played amazing. Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about the stats here, though, with Dak. This dude, 24 attempts, 13 completions, 54.2%, 143 yards,
143
averaging 6 yards per attempt, and a 72 passer rating. Straight dog shit.
Oh, yeah, 100%,
I mean, absolute dog shit. You've got a defense
that we still put up 40 points.
But yeah, because your defense is that dominant.
40-0.
I mean, so
14 of those points were done by the defense, anyways.
Right.
I mean, I don't think he had a single TD. Yeah, 0 TDs. I mean, it
zero
was
TDs.
It was all. I think did Pollard have 1 or 2?
He had 1.
I think he had 1. Let me look here. But at the same time, it's just like, let's see here. Yeah, he had 70 yards, 2 TDs. He had 2 TDs.
Oh, he did have 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, obviously that's the question is if they play a team like let's say the 49ers or some other team that has a good offensive line where that defense just can't just dominate the hell out of the offense, Dak's got to perform. I mean, that's atrocious.
Right.
That's atrocious numbers. I mean, and it's not like he doesn't have a good O line. Their O line is one of the best in the league too. They've got an awesome O line and D line. Like, and the fact that the dude, and he's typically a pocket passer. It's not like he had any pressure at all. Like I was watching something about like he had all the time in the world to throw, and the dude's like throwing just straight trash passes. I mean, it's just I don't know. That's my whole thing. Is it's like I feel like they've got problems in with the Cowboys. Is Dak Prescott is one of those players that's like you don't have faith in him, and I feel like I like for saying how good he is, it's like I just don't have faith in the guy. I feel like he'll find a way to make that team suck. If the defense isn't just like putting the whole game on their back. I mean, but damn, that defense, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah. I think Dak it should be in just about everyone's at least top 10 quarterbacks. I mean, he's not trash.
And he's consistently a top 10 quarterback. He was what I want to say top maybe 15 last year. He was a top 10, I want to say, fantasy quarterback for sure.
He definitely has potential.
He puts up great numbers. He can score quite a bit.
Yeah. He's a Kirk Cousins that can move. He's slightly more mobile Kirk Cousins.
And he doesn't move anymore ever since he broke his ankle.
No.
He doesn't move nearly as much as he used to.
Yep.
Yeah, so who's your losers?
Okay, bear with me here. Bear with me. My loser of the week is Washington. And yes, I know. They won. They beat the obviously tanking Arizona Cardinals by 4 points. Sam Howell looked pretty decent. He had 202 yards passing. He had a touchdown. Also had an interception. He also had a fumble. I just don't understand how you can and Arizona was leading quite a bit of the game too. How do you almost lose to a team that is clearly playing for the first pick of the draft?
So that game was a little weird because when I was watching it, I was like, are they tanking? Like, what the hell is going on? Because it didn't seem. It was almost like. I don't know if it was Washington is that.
But and they were supposed to have one of the better defenses,
one of the better
in the league this year.
Exactly. So that's when I was watching that game. I was like, is their defense just like not like this bad that they're like not even trying and they're just it's happening like they can't help it. That was a little weird for me. At the same time, I actually would almost agree with you though. That offense really just didn't. The running backs didn't really perform like they were supposed to.
They had
fantasy
92
points,
yards of rushing, which isn't bad. It's pretty decent. But
I don't really think so. Not with the talent that they have. Not with the talent that they have. Brian Robinson Jr.
Fair.
And it's like he put up 59 yards and for I don't even know how many fantasy points, maybe like 9 fantasy points, 8 fantasy points. It's like, that's nothing to write home about. Antonio Gibson, they're supposed to have one of the better backfields as far as like running backs go, and they've got that committee, and they didn't put 100 yards between the two of them. I just don't think that's good.
Right.
Like when you compare them to other I would like say like similar teams like the Falcons, when you look at the things that the committee, the running back committee there with Algier and Bijan were able to put up, like comparing numbers, because they're very similar types of teams, like where they're not the whole league has kind of switched to a passing league, and they're still one of those teams that has stuck with the run. Is more focused on rushing the ball. So I don't know, dude. I actually would almost kind of agree with you. I don't think that they were that good, like with who they were playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's your winners and losers for the week.
Yeah, geez, that only took like 30 minutes or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy crap, man, it took forever. Okay.
I want to say something. So I got the chat pulled up, right? So I got the live stream pulled up here on Facebook, and
I pulled it up too.
Yeah, Trenton Davis was talking how like Brock Purdy was doing great after coming off the injury that he had. I mean, he could be legit. And none of us brought up the Bengals. And Joe Burrow only putting up 3 points.
Yeah,
in
the fantasy.
Absolute trash.
But I can answer that. I mean, I'll answer why I didn't choose those people. It's hard to, everybody else kind of talked about teams and stuff like that, right? Not one player can make the team and stuff like that. And so that's kind of why I decided to go with teams over my winners and losers, right? Because there's no I in team, right? So, that's kind of, hopefully that answers your question why I think a lot of us, the four of us, we didn't exactly choose some of the individual players because there's hundreds of players that we could have picked from, right? So, but we just kind of went with who we thought was the best and the worst in our opinion. So
we don't have to fucking justify ourselves. Fuck them.
Hey, I'm just trying to be the nice guy before I become the absolute laughing stock here in our next segment.
I will tell if I could pick one player, it's goddamn Kadarius Toney. Like, good. Just atrocious.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to be the nice guy before I become the laughing stock here.
Yeah, so Isaiah Pacheco's 1,800-yard season, Joel, how is it going?
I mean, come on. I mean, he's so close. In fact, he put up record numbers last week. I mean, we're actually pretty close, right? So we had 8 attempts for 23 yards, which, is absolute dog shit, right? He had four receptions for 31 yards. But I'm gonna go off and kind of say, you know what, we'll mark that up as an error in the system. That was not the best game for the Chiefs, anyways. However, we're chipping away at it with a plastic fork here. We're at 54 total yards for the season, and that brings our count down to 1,746 yards to go for my semi-bold, but not totally not realistic prediction. So we'll see how it goes. I think I've already purchased my my one chip that I'm going to have to eat at the end of the season here. I think that's what we decided on as my punishment if they don't get it, unless somebody comes up with a more embarrassing thing to do. I
actually I completely forgot to grab it. It's in my car right now. I actually bought one for
you.
No,
you didn't. No,
yeah,
you didn't.
I really did. If we'll go to Roberts and I'll actually go grab it so I can show you. But so Roberts, Tyreek Hill, 2,300 yard season.
2,300 yards.
How's he doing?
Week 1, 215 yards. He gave it one hell of a push. We're on pace to maybe take 12 weeks max to hit my 2,300 yards of receiving. Bold prediction.
Now, you're going off of just receiving yards, right? For
yeah.
him? Now, because I think he got 220 yards, something like that, last week.
Total yards.
I think it was like 200 and something. So, are you basing off your getting to your 2,300 by doing 200 yards a week?
In there, yeah.
Okay.
The way if even just looking at week 1's numbers, 215 yards.
Okay.
If he averages that for the next 10 weeks, that's going to be 2,150. Go on your bye week. When is their bye week?
While you're looking that up, and that still leaves 4 weeks to get 75 yards, 80 yards,
right?
Something like that.
Yeah, their bye week is week 10. So realistically, week 12, maybe week 13, if he kept up this pace. I'm not saying he's going to there's plenty of factors that go into that, the same as your 1800 for Pacheco.
Well, but yours is a little bit more realistic than mine.
Well, if he's gonna keep this up, then maybe I should have stepped it up to 24. Like, 215 yards is crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of. I mean, it's a lot of yards to put up for sure. No, I definitely agree. Well, I don't. Is Dylan still here? Or did he break?
He went to go get your chip.
That's right. He did get. Yeah. Well, you know what? While he's doing that, I mean, I guess we can possibly. I think we can move on to our last topic. And Robert, since this was your idea, you want to start us off?
I'm back.
Oh shit! There it is.
Here's your one chip. Right before they pulled them all from the shelves.
Yeah, yeah, there was like something wrong with them or something like that. They were causing bleeding or something like that.
Oh, nice.
No, a teenager died.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
Good news is I'm not a teenager. I'm not a teenager.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I won't.
Okay,
I'll be okay.
So from what I've heard, with that, because I was thinking, I was like, do we want Joel to die? Just because he made such a horrible prediction. Obviously we don't. But at the same time, I feel like from what I've read, the kid, he had some issues with potentially asthma, and he also didn't drink any milk. And like you're free to, like, as soon as you need to start chugging milk, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, I got to do it on the live. I got to do it on live.
But I mean, it's not going to matter though, because Pacheco's going to get 1,800 yards.
Yeah, wait, so time out. We never talked about what happens if he does get 1,800 yards.
Yeah, we did. We said that we owe you like a bottle of whiskey or something.
Oh, is that okay? That's fine.
Yeah.
I think that there was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but like a cheap one, like a bottle of Jack. Or something.
Like Bennett's gin or something like that.
Yeah, some Jim Beam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, before we go to our dad's thing, I want to mention all of the winners from all of the leagues. So these aren't necessarily winners, but these are who put up the most points from every league. So we'll start with our free leagues. Let me get that pulled up here. So League 1, Joel, he put up the most points, 136 points, 136.44 points. Then we've got Free League number 2, Derek Moore. Is that the name of the person? Derek Moore? Catch up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that's the name of the name of the team is Derek Moore Ketchup and Mostart, 148.94 points. Jesus.
Love it.
Did he have? Yeah, I don't know who the hell he had beside on his team. He probably had Cowboys defense or something.
That was number 2.
Then we had number 3 Chris Sanchez from the free leagues, 132.14 points. Free League 4, Sean Andrews put up 139.64 points. League 5, Zach Bruckerhoff, 120.94 points. League 6, Josh Bostic with 137.92 points. And then for the paid leagues, we had $20 League 1. I actually came in with the most points, 141.46 points. The $20 League number 2, Pedro Gutierrez, 137.26 points. $30 League, Matthew Perry, 159.38 points.
Just fucking crazy. Fucking crazy.
Insane. $50 League number 1, Chris Poole, 139.66 points. $50 League number 2, Jordan Arshino, I hope that I pronounced that right, 149.92 points. And then Chad Johansson, he won our $5 DraftKings League and made a nice $100 this weekend. There was 21 people. Yeah, $100 on the weekend. Guys. That's nice.
Good job to all you
guys. Yeah, good job. And I was one of those winners, so good job me. Okay, so yeah, we'll go to our last question because we're at how far are we in? Like 40 something minutes.
Almost an hour.
Yeah, so we'll hopefully be more structured next week. Yeah, so we're gonna end all of our podcasts just talking about something dad related. So dad question, how do you guys balance family and football, especially on Sundays?
I'll start off that. I think, thank God for technology, right? Like you can do a lot of things as a dad while watching football. We've got our phones now and that kind of stuff. So I watch a lot on my phone, watching the games and stuff like that, trying to keep up with the fantasy and stuff like that. But I can still, be active on a weekend, especially because, I work Monday through Friday, right? So I'm gone all day long. So I don't really get to spend quality time with my family until the evening time. And of course, it's dinner, showers, and bedtime, right? So for me, especially on the weekends, we try to go out. My oldest daughter started soccer, so we've got soccer on the weekends now. And so just trying to balance of taking my phone with me everywhere I go. Everybody's always got their phone on them, right? So that's the way that I'm able to balance that of, I can put the game on or put an ear pod in or something like that. I can listen to the game while still doing my thing, and if something pops off, I can get it out real fast and take a look at it, see what's going on. That's how I do it. So
you
yeah, definitely.
So pretty much you pretty much hit it on the head. Technology is great because I was able to put headphones in and leave my phone sitting wherever and listen to the game while I was putting fence panels up.
Yeah.
How much do you let them help, like, with the to-dos?
I was about to...
it's real shit. I let Ev run the nail gun a couple times. She helped me, stand the posts up, and she was running the level, and she stapled a few times, and she was having a ball. And that was, I thought, it helped a lot. But at the same time, still, same thing. I have football in my ears in the other side of me.
Like here's my biggest thing, right? And actually, I really wanted to ask you guys this. I know that me and Dylan have young kids. My oldest is 4 years old, right? So they don't really know about sports yet and that kind of stuff, right? But I know that Cody, you've got
11-year-old,
and I know Rob, you've got kids too, right? And 6. Like, do you guys bring them in with you whenever you're going to watch some football and stuff like that? Kind of be a bonding time with them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's great. But the only thing is, the Chiefs are, catching everybody on this bandwagon. You know what I mean? So now it's going to my kids. I'm like, really? What about the Saints? But they love to see Patrick Mahomes doing great. They just won. As long as they're into football, that's the big thing about me. Not really caring about the team. That'll come later.
Yeah, that's the peer pressure, dude. Yeah. Peer pressure is no joke, man. They go to school and.
So my oldest, we had just moved home, and the first time we were able to go to Yellowstone, we did. My daughter was 2 at the time, and she absolutely fell in love with buffalo, right? Mm-hmm. We had to have all these stuffies, and it was everything's books about buffalo and buffalo this and buffaloes, and I think it was like a couple weeks before the season started, actually, and I think that was one of the games that we watched in entirety was the Buffalo Bills football game. And she saw the logo on their helmets, and she just goes, Buffalo! And ever since then, that's been her team. And my wife is a Chiefs fan, and I'm a Cowboys fan, and
you got a mixed house.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, you think that's bad? I'm a Chiefs fan. My wife and her family are Broncos fans.
That's like being on 2 different sides of the aisle politically.
I had to go through the whole Peyton Manning thing with them about how the Broncos are the greatest team in the entire world because they're always going to win the Super Bowl, and it was just the whole Peyton Manning thing. And then as soon as he retired, they just fucking tanked. It was just
it's glorious.
So of course, being a Chiefs fan, every time they play and they win, I'm like that drunk uncle, running around throwing the jerseys, throwing the hats, just having a good time with it. So
yeah, that's awesome. Unfortunately for me, my wife gets mad at me most of the time during like Sunday. So for me, it's hard because I actually I have football on my phone. I pay for NFL Plus, so I get to watch it through the app, but at the same time, I do like to watch the games on TV. There's just something about watching on a big screen. I just like, watching on my phone is like, it's okay, but um, if I'm not somewhere, I can be in front of the TV. So like, it's kind of rough for me because my wife does get on to me. How long is this game? Once we get to like especially the evening games, she's just done. She's like, you've been watching this all day long, and I'm like, babe, I have to watch this. I need to know what's going on. I need to.
All three of my girls, dude. Like by 4:30, by the end of those afternoon games, all three of them are like, "Are you done?
Yeah.
Can we be done with this, please?" Nope. Sorry. Nope.
Okay.
Let's go play.
Cody's phone died, so.
Yep. It's just us.
Let's like tiny violin for Cody and not having his damn
F in the chat.
He didn't have his phone plugged in. What the fuck, man? Yeah, but anyway, yeah, dude, it's my wife does get on to me. So for me, I need to like I don't know what I need to do to figure. I was even thinking about trying to like get her into football potentially, like because that's the whole thing. Like she doesn't know what's going on at all. Like
Right.
like nothing makes sense to her. I try to explain and she's like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. So maybe if I can like get her into football, like, and she understands the game, then maybe that will, you know, make it so she's like not just sitting there like watching me and like hates it the whole time.
I'm going to let you guys finish this off tonight. I actually have to go. I have to go be a dad right now. We've got showers to take care of. So I'm going to have to get off here.
Shower time.
It is shower time. So you guys have a great night.
Yes.
Awesome week. Congratulations to all the winners. We definitely will see you next week. I'll let you guys finish it. And you guys have a great rest of your night.
Yeah, take it easy, Joel. Have a good night, man.
We'll see you later.
Okay, Rob. How much time you got? I want to talk about this Aaron Rodgers thing before we go.
I'll give it a couple minutes.
Okay, so
I can have a conversation.
Yeah, so I feel like we couldn't end this without talking about Aaron Rodgers. Just
everybody has to talk about Aaron Rodgers today.
Unbelievable, man. I was actually what the hell was I doing last night? I can't remember what I was doing last night, but just everyone's talking about what happened, and I like turn on, I look up on YouTube, go to my phone, and I see what happens, and I'm just like absolutely flabbergasted. I feel like it's like one of those like ironic, like tragic turns of events that takes place in life.
Oh man, it's so far gone out of that group chat. Somebody put it on there. The script writers are on point tonight.
Yes.
Throughout the entire game. If you go, you get 4 plays. You get 4 plays out of Aaron Rodgers.
One. And
one, yeah.
Yeah, and they're on Hard Knocks. They're supposed to be like this is their year.
There's Super Bowl contenders.
I mean, some people have. I mean, I think most people have them at least going to the playoffs. And that defense is good. That defense is really good. The offense, arguably one of the better offenses in the league. They've got a lot of talent at running back position.
Great talent,
running back position and at wide receiver. I mean, they've got a lot of talent there, and it's just like for it to just like go down in flames like that in one possession.
In minutes, one single possession, 4 plays.
Yeah, just absolutely unbelievable. And it's kind of sad because it's like you almost wanted to see it's like it's one of those things like what could have been, you know?
Right.
What would have happened had he not been hurt? I feel like it'll be like a question mark on his career because I think he's done it. I do not think that he is going to play again. I just
Do
don't
you
see.
think it's his decision? Do you think he tries to come back? Because he's how long of a contract did he sign with the Jets?
I think it's a 3-year contract. It's a 3-year or
Okay.
4-year contract. But at the same time, when he's done interviews, he said that a few at least he hasn't like
At
basically
least a few
at
years.
few years, yeah. Like
Yeah.
he hasn't said like I'm gonna be here all 4 years or 5 years. He
Right.
has like I think I read something. He said like he could potentially play till 45 or something. But at the same time, like clearly you can't play till 45. Like you just
I don't know
snapped
that
your
you're playing.
Achilles.
That's what I'm. That's I
Yeah,
guess. Yeah. I don't see it happening. I
yeah,
don't. This is with as old as he is.
yep.
Um,
40-year-old, turning
yeah.
40 this year, I think, or something. It's like that that is an injury that typically comes with uh use, and just over time. It's
Right.
like typically that's either a traumatic injury, which can happen obviously in football. You know, there's I think J.K. Dobbs, same thing, or
Mm-hmm.
was it is his last name Dobbins, I think.
Dobbins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, J.K. Dobbins. He tore his Achilles, I think, this week
Mm-hmm.
too. You know, he's obviously a lot younger, but he's a running back. You kind of expect him to,
Right.
running backs get hurt. But like as far as QBs go, tearing an Achilles, that's more of an age thing. And honestly, if you saw the tackle, everyone was like, "What the hell happened?" When
Dude,
I
I straight up thought he was like, I don't want to say throwing a fit, but like, you know how some players will sit back down to stop the clock?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought that's what he was doing. Like, he didn't like something when he
Like
stood
he
back
like he
up
didn't
because he
get the
threw the
roughing the
ball in
pat.
his
Yeah,
face.
yeah. Like he didn't get the roughing the
Right. He
passer or
didn't get
something. Yeah.
something to go his way, so I thought he just sat down to like I said, not throw a fit, but throw a fit. And then they kept replaying it, and it's like, okay, so maybe I could never see anything that said a traumatic injury, you know?
Yeah. So Trent's talking about Tom Brady signing with the Jets. That's such a meme thing. Uh, that would be insane though. I mean,
That'd be
absolutely insane.
wild.
But like seriously, like, Wilson is straight garbage. Zach Wilson sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, he sucks. He looks a little bit better from like preseason and stuff. But he wasn't playing like good defenses and stuff like that. So it's like
Right.
you really don't know like how much has he actually improved. So my whole thing is it's like Zach Wilson sucks. So they've got a problem there where they've spent all this money getting in all these awesome receivers. They've got a great team now except for a quarterback. So now you've got a problem. So like Colin Kaepernick is trying to get in there. I mean, imagine that. Imagine that being on Hard Knocks. That Colin Kaepernick comes in there. They're not gonna. I don't think any team will ever touch Colin Kaepernick ever again, just because of all the controversy and stuff like that. But at the same time, like you want publicity, you want to be the talk of the town, which clearly they enjoyed that. They were like,
Right.
yeah, like that coach was like doing every press conference, dropping like, oh, we're going, this is the year, we're going, other teams have to prepare for us and stuff like that, just very confident in
Right.
everything. And now it's like that's out the window at this point. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Um, I just thought that was insane. I mean, it's like it, I feel like it'll put an asterisk on his career. Like, what could he have taken them, if not to
Right.
the playoffs? But it also sucks as a Jets fan because they haven't been to the playoffs in what, like 13 years or something.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
a long time. They haven't been to the playoffs in a long time, and it's just totally not gonna happen. For all the Jets fans. So I feel like that sucks because I mean, imagine being a Jets fan. You're so hyped. Like you've got Aaron Rodgers, you've got all this amazing,
so much hope.
Yeah, so much and so much
season.
Talent. Arguably one of the most talented teams in the league, and everyone was looking at that team as like playoff contention for sure, if not.
Especially with the way that AFC looks, like they had a great shot of making the playoffs.
Oh, for sure.
I think that AFC is wide open for some of those.
For sure. And I don't know, man. That I felt like that was just like it sucks too to see someone's career kind of end like that, because I seriously don't think with his age he's gonna come back and play. I mean, at his age, trying to stay in the shape that he would need to be in to play the position as well, not only healing and like getting better and healing his body healing, but then also staying in the shape that he would need to be in to play at the level that he would need to play at. I just don't see his career. I think that he's done with football. And
I agree.
Yeah, I saw a funny meme that said that Josh Allen had Josh Allen threw more receptions to Jets players than Aaron Rodgers did. I mean, it's true. Great. It's true, though.
It is. That is true.
Josh Allen literally had more receptions with Jets players than Aaron Rodgers did as a Jets player. It's tragic. It's tragic.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it really is. But yeah, I just wanted to end. I couldn't let this episode end without us.
We couldn't end without talking about it.
Yeah, we gotta pay the dude some respect. I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. I mean, love him or hate him, mostly hate. At least
I gotta say though, being a Cowboys fan, I was not looking forward to week 2 because we had to play the Jets. I'm still not looking forward to week 2 because we still got to play that amazing Jets defense. Like,
yeah,
we actually, week 2 will tell us what our offense is going to look like.
Yeah,
I think our defense could have another huge game now that it's Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. It's totally changed the dynamic, especially with week 2, with that game.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that matchup. I do feel. Do you think they'll bring in another QB, or do you think they'll just ride with Zach Wilson? I feel like they will bring in another QB. I do not think that they're gonna let him squander another year. He played
what the hell is the coach's name?
I don't know, dickhead. I don't like that coach
in one of his press conferences today came out and he said Zach Wilson is our quarterback. We fully trust him.
For how long?
I think they'll entertain it. I think they'll call around.
How many bad games? How many bad
games? Oh, he's not. What do they say? What do those kids say now? He is him. He's not him.
No, he's not even. He's not
he
even
is not,
average. No, he's not.
No.
He's a bust for a first rounder.
For sure, for a first round pick, yeah.
Yeah, I think he went second overall or something. I can't remember.
I don't.
Yeah,
remember.
It was something like that. I know he was like a top 5 pick, but it's just I don't know. I feel like they will definitely, if things start to go south, I think they give it 3 games and they will have another QB in there. I think 3 games because they're not going to want to lose throw this year away. They've paid all these people.
That's fair. Desperation.
You know what I mean? They've paid so many people at this point. They've gotten arguably the best roster that they've had in over a decade. And they're not gonna just want to throw this year away because Aaron Rodgers is gone and we've got freaking that little kid, Zach Wilson, playing at QB.
Right.
Joel, you jump back in here. Did you want to?
Yeah, no, I got done with doing my stuff, so I thought I'd jump in here real fast and say, hey, what'd I miss?
We had to end on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, we completely forgot to talk about Aaron Rodgers, and we just had to talk about that before.
Okay, so here's my opinion on Aaron Rodgers, and if I mentioned something that's already been said, I'm sorry. So here's my biggest thing with Aaron Rodgers. I think he is in the league with how I think that when Drew Brees was at the end of his career, when you had Peyton Manning, when you had Eli Manning, when you had Tom Brady, it's like you've got these great players in their prime, but it's like they hold on. They're just trying to hold on. And it's like at some point, you just got to say, I'm done. You're the only player in the NFL still wearing a single chin strap. Like it's time to just hang up the cleats, man. It's time to hang up the cleats. It's time to just say, you know what? I made an impact. If you can take a step back and say, I made an impact to the league. I made an impact to players. Like there are some players that literally watched him as kids and is now playing with him. Like at some point, man, you just got to say, you know what? I don't have the ability anymore. The whole ideology of a pocket passer is gone. Look at all the quarterbacks that have been drafted in the last 5 years. Everybody runs. Everybody's mobile.
You have to run.
Patrick Mahomes is the one that really changed that. Everyone saw what Patrick Mahomes was doing.
Agreed.
And they've all like who do teams look for now? Who looks the most? Who can we find that is like Patrick Mahomes? That's why Caleb Williams is far and ahead. He's gonna be number 1 overall draft pick QB. Everyone knows that because people see
Arizona
flashes of
with their last
Mahomes.
Their last number 1 picks. 3 number 1 picks in a row are going to pick 3 quarterbacks in a row.
I want to end on one more thing about Aaron Rodgers. Right. I'm not a Tom Brady fan. I'm not a Patriots fan. Right. But the one thing that Tom Brady could do was he could win Super Bowls and he could play the game. So he kind of had that big dick in the room mentality when he would come in and he could do things because he could. And I feel like Rodgers is chasing that. So Rodgers thinks that he can do that. But he can't.
Yeah. I think that. Yeah. I think that and we kind of talked about this in week 1. Or like preseason, was the fact that Aaron Rodgers just a few years ago was league MVP. I mean, he put up over 4,000 something yards.
He was back to back.
Yeah, back to back league MVPs. That was just a couple of years ago, just a few years ago.
Yeah.
And like Trent Davis is in here saying he's talking about the thing. He only has 1 Super Bowl, and it's like you got this incredible,
which is also true,
incredible career. But I feel like what is now his entire career is going to have 2 asterisks on it. One, the end of your career just lights out. Like, just ended so abruptly, your body just gave out.
Yeah.
I feel like he still has the talent. I honestly do feel like keep that dude protected. Protect him. He is the type of player, I still think that he has the arm talent and the intelligence to lead a team far, far into the playoffs just because of how talented I still think he has the talent. I just think his body, he's old. He's 40 years old. It's his body. He just can't do it. At some point, it's like talent doesn't matter if your body's gone. You know what I mean? He's 40 years old.
Hey, Dylan.
Yeah.
I think I figured out your nickname.
What is
your nickname is now? It's Teddy Bear.
Okay. Why?
Julian said, check y'all out. Haha. I was scrolling like, who the fuck is this? Teddy Bear ass dude in a log cabin talking fantasy football.
Hey. I mean, if you want to call me Teddy Bear, that's fine. Teddy Bear Dylan.
Dude, I fucking love it, man. I love this group. I love this group, and I'm telling you that this is gonna take off. This is gonna be a successful thing. All of us dance coming together
from the group. Julian's.
No, but it's
like I gotta get going.
Yeah,
I agree. Hey, y'all have a good night again, man. It was good talking to you guys.
Have a good night. We will see you all next Tuesday around 8 o'clock, hopefully 7:45, but around 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks for tuning in, and good luck this week in fantasy.
Hey, you too, guys. Good luck. See ya.
See you guys.